squeeze by.
I can.
Or you can go
I'll
around.
just get it back. I got it.
Cool.
So, welcome back to MH Wellness, and today we have the lovely Lynne Brick with us, and she's going to help me show you about those informations that I've been priorly giving to you, and show you the zones and how they affect everything in the reverse side of your body just as much as the cause areas and everything that pretty much we commonly speak about. So today, with the lovely Lynne, we're going to have you pretty much get informed hands-on, and I'll show you as we're working through this situation exactly all of those informations priorly, and I have her to actually help me show you hands-on now, and you can see it physically without just having to imagine my voice and my lovely way. So, ready?
Yeah.
All right, so now we're going to start first off with the most common thing that everyone speaks about. That's that neck and shoulder tension. And we all talk about how we have to change our habits and everything else, but everything that you're doing pretty much is necessity. So you have to be at a computer, you have to be on your cell phone, you have to drive, you have to sleep. And generally those are the things that are causing you the most of that neck and shoulder tension. So when you want to squeeze your neck and shoulders and you feel like you need that, the areas that you really need to be focusing on are here at the pectoralis muscles. And finding a good way to stretch those out, of course I'm going to give you one, but finding a good way to stretch those muscles out is actually the key to alleviating the tension. Here, let's have you turn around for just a moment. So now, the tension from here at the occipital ridge, just under the base of the skull, to just under your shoulder blade, just scapulus. All that tension in between, from the neck down, is actually, let's get your pretty face back around.
Okay.
It's actually coming from your pectoralis muscles. These are the primary muscles, and everything behind you are just stabilizing. So now, as you get tighter, stronger, more tense, all those things tend to manifest themselves in the weaker muscles that are stabilizing, namely your neck and shoulders. Then we come to your mid, we'll say your thoracic and lumbothoracic areas. So we'll turn you around once more. So everything from just under your shoulder blades to just above your waistline. Now, this is going to sound crazy and it's not magic. So, as we turn around, whatever you ate last night is hurting you. So, your digestive tract is the thing that's correlating with that area. And as you get gas, bloating, or just have constipation or any type of blockage, it's going to manifest itself in that rear area. That's the stabilizers. So again, front to back. And the last zone is going to be the lower digestive tract and your hip flexors. That area is responsible for all of your lower back tension and those woes. So if you're not actually suffering from an injury per se, that's where your pain's coming from. And you really do need to stretch more, because being seated for long periods of time at the computer again, driving, that nice comfy fetal position that we love to sleep into, all of those things, even though they're nice and comfy while we're doing them, they're hurting us in the long run. And again, I'm going to have you spin for me. And it gives you that band or that belt of pain at your lower back. So at this point, that means that you really do need to check your diet and stretch. So have you come around for me once more. It's a dance. So with that being said, those areas, you get bloating in this area. A lot of us don't really notice the distinction. We'll feel it. And then you may look at it sometimes like, oh, I got to push. No, you just need to get that air out of there. And that can be maybe laxatives or fiber supplements that you need, but definitely check your dietary habits. The next thing again is stretching out that core and the whole core. We generally tend to think from the rib cage down to the waistline is core. That's your belly. But in all actuality, it's actually from your pectoralis muscles down to your waistline. That's your entire core. Your upright posture is dictated by the stability of your abdominal muscles, but the direction of your posture is actually dictated by how tense, tight, or loose that your pectoralis muscles are, because they're what's pulling your arms forward or allowing them to fall back into the anatomic position. So with that being said, are you stretching the right areas? So again, it's not magic, and I'm going to show you with Ms. Lynne on the table once how those areas can be addressed even at home. Couple minutes, it takes about 2 to 3 minutes on each side and about 5 minutes on the stomach. That's it. So if you've got help, go about it that way. If you don't have help, you can get a foam roller. So,
Great.
all right, let's have you hop on the table.
Head this way?
Head that way.
Okay.
So now, as promised, we're going to start by lifting her right arm and just lying it out. You can't really see that right now. I'm going to come to you and adjust the camera. So if you see me walking to you, don't get scared. So, hello people. There's Miss Lynne again. So, with her arm extended out, that allows the pectoralis muscles to fall open. I'm coming around the table. Gonna have her bend her elbow back. It's chicken wing style, of course. And now, this entire area, I can allow gravity to stretch that. So now you can actually place a towel or a cushion between your spine and your shoulder blade to allow this muscle to stretch just with gravity. Or if you want to be comfortable for a longer period of time, you can just roll something up, preferably a nice large towel, and put it directly on your spine beneath your head and beneath the skull, your base of the skull, yes. And let your head fall back and just relax. Arms open. So now, pectoralis muscles need to relax. That is the main thing in this situation if you're having neck and shoulder tension. Not too much pressure. The strength of these muscles for the long time that they've been working makes them very, very sensitive for the individuals who've never had it done. And most of us don't realize how much restriction we're actually having in those areas because they're strong and they don't scream much.
Feels good.
So now, with inquiry, she's already told us that it feels good. How does one shoulder feel from side to side now? Do you feel as if one shoulder's falling back to the table more?
Yep.
Okay.
Definitely. The right one.
So now, that bowing of her left shoulder is because we've not addressed the tension that's actually over into that region yet. And once we do, before I even have to address her neck and shoulders, she'll already have some relief because she's already alleviated the pull from that front.
Yeah, you can always feel when it's releasing.
Feel it unwinding? Good. You're getting to hear it as it happens. That's the treat for the day. Usually you have to hear my voice alone. Now her arm has relaxed and started to rotate back on its own in a nice limp and lazy fashion. You can pull that down, let her relax. Feeling balanced now?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. Try her.
So now, here's something that a lot of people don't know. Would you cross your hands on your stomach for me, please? The arch of our back. I'm going to wave at you twice. This time now. She's actually got a really loose core. That is great. So now, I guess I won't be waving at you twice. So, that's great. She's got a very loose core, which says that she's able to flex and move and digest properly, and breathe properly, and function properly, and stand up tall. We can keep going with this, but the point is that the core has to be open. And so I'm going to start where I need to and show you from the right hand side going to the left clockwise, and then we do not end on the other hip. That is the key to this situation. We may start at the hip flexor on this process, but we're going to end under the belly button because we're actually addressing air, and we're allowing those core muscles to elongate and alleviate all of that tension in those regions. So we will get to that left hip flexor, but primarily we're opening the core, and this is pretty much 2 steps to kill 2 birds, and you won't have any more of those issues that we were just priorly speaking of. So here we go.
Arms relaxed.
So, arms relaxed.
Okay.
Starting at the right hip flexor, just going to give light pressure until I feel the tension and the tensile strength of those muscles. Nothing deeper. Just press and hold. Most of us, you can go to a 30 count if you like. I like to stay somewhere between 15 and 20. Release. And again, not magic, but decompression. If I give a nice slight tug at the ankle, gives her a little bit of her height back naturally, and it releases that hip. So now the next time that I come back to it, it's not as tight. A little bit more amicable, it wants to talk a bit. And I can do that once more before I start into my clockwise process. So now, moving just higher, my hand is just to the side of her belly button, and I'm giving the very lightest of pressure, just until I feel those muscles start to give way a little bit. Nothing deep and nothing pointed either. I'm not using my fingertips. So now I follow that same path going up towards the ribs, doing the same thing. Slight pressure. You may feel some bubbling.
My dinner.
And I'm going from rib to rib. So at the very bottom crest of her rib cage, I'm following it across, lightly pressing at the diaphragm and then slightly coming down. Once I get to that other side at the bottom of the ribs, I'm I'm going to make my way down using the same pattern and same pressure. And again, not going to the hip flexor, but coming into the center. And finishing my cycle. And starting again. I want to do this 2 to 3 times. And each pass, you'll notice the core relax more. And the breathing will get deeper at the finish of each cycle. We're getting all of the bad air out and relaxing those muscles at the same time. So then you can replace it with good air and motion.
Always in this circular clockwise fashion.
Always in the circular clockwise fashion. We're following not only the pattern of the muscles from origin to insertion, we're also making sure that we stay in alignment with the digestive tract and going in the direction of the digestive tract. We don't want to cause any more digestive problems while we're trying to alleviate the ones that are going on. And that is also the reason we're not ending at the hip. We're coming back into the center line just under the belly button and finishing our cycle there because that is the very end of the digestive tract. So now, I've done my multiple cycles. I can come around and repeat the alleviation of the hip tension. Using my palms, slightly pressing, just until I feel the tension of the muscle. Slight tug on the ankle. You feel the lower back on the table now?
Mm-hmm.
So I could barely get my hand in before. So I'm certainly thinking that I will not be able to at this point if we've gotten it to relax the way that it should. So now, if you would, hands on your belly once more. Mm-hmm. And here we go. Yeah, that's a lot more difficult this time.